Welcome to Research Academy. Before I do my presentation today, if you end up getting something useful out of this video, I'd invite you to check out our Discord server. It's going to be in the first link in the description today. Today we're going to be going over the topic of how to gain trust, how to gain trust with someone, how to be more transparent, and everything surrounding this topic. We're even going to get into emotions and stuff like that, emotional attunement. So first we're going to look at the benefits of gaining trust with somebody. Why should we do this in the first place? Number one, more communication. More communication, people will be more at ease talking to you. They might even open up to you about sensitive topics. And it might be like emotional topics as well. And you might be able to even help them by just like listening to them talking about how they're feeling. Number two is people will be less likely to say no to you. Again, they're going to be more comfortable around you when they have your trust. So they're going to be less likely to say no to your proposals. Gain people's respect. You will gain respect of others. You'll be looked at as a person with a good reputation, with good integrity. And people, next one, people will be more comfortable around you. And that will branch off into a bunch of other benefits as well. Next is integrity is rewarded. Internally and externally. You might notice when you're being more truthful, you'll feel better about yourself inside and you'll have a better reputation. Now, we're going to look at how to be transparent. I'm going to erase this right now. So, how to be more transparent. Number one, we're going to be more truthful. Okay? Make sure you're being truthful. We're going to look at a few of the advantages of telling the truth. So, advantages of telling the truth. What are they? Number one, believe it or not, better memory. Studies have actually suggested that lying can actually alter memory, making it more difficult to distinguish between truth and fiction over time. Next, we got you don't have to remember what you said. That's a famous quote from Mark Twain. One of the advantages of telling the truth is you don't have to remember what you said. Next is it fosters more meaningful connections. You will stand out from other people who like lie every now and then. And next one is you will have a clear conscience. So a clearer conscience. Yeah, clear conscience. So this will actually relieve anxiety and guilt, and it will actually promote peace of mind when you're telling the truth more often and always, preferably. Next is improve reputation. We talked about that. How you are perceived by other people is very important. It will increase your trustworthiness in other people's eyes. And last one we got here is it avoids complications. Complications are very heavy, especially regarding relationships. Um, Complications in relationships. This can be one of the worst things that can happen. Is you can lie to your spouse, your friend. It ruins your relationship. So next, we're going to look at how do we gain the trust. How do we gain trust? Finally, how to gain trust. What are things we can do, start doing today to help gain trust? This one is actually important. Is to be more empathetic. To be more empathetic. Why? Why? Why be more empathetic? Because it creates emotional safety between you and your counterpart, whoever you're around. And it builds emotional connection and respect. So you will have a more emotional connection with that person. And in turn, you will gain their trust more when you have a better emotional connection. Okay? How? Also, how? How do we become more empathetic? I'm actually going to need a whole lot more space for this. How to be more empathetic. Now we're getting into the stuff that's actually really important that a lot of people don't actually regard. Not a lot of people take note of this. Okay. Become more emotionally in touch. How? I'm going to put a lot on under this on how to become more emotionally in touch. How to become more emotionally attuned with yourself and others. So, being more emotionally in tune with yourself can help you relate to how other people are feeling as well. The first way to become more emotionally in touch is to practice self reflection. There's multiple ways of doing this. There's journaling. This is a fun one. Journaling is actually really fun. I started not too long ago. It's funner than you think. Writing can bring in emotions sometimes, which you can identify in order to better understand what triggers certain feelings. Reflect on the day, like your thoughts or your interactions, and this can bring out being more emotionally in touch. Next, we got meditation. Increasing your presence, and it can bring you to be more present with your emotions instead of being separated from your emotions. Ask yourself, the next one is you're going to want to ask yourself questions about your emotions when you notice you're having them. So ask questions. So ask yourself what's really driving your emotions. Identify the root cause or causes of your emotions because there can be multiple. Develop emotional vocabulary is the next one. So this is the first one. Instead of labeling emotions stages as just like good or bad, try to get more specific. So like anxious, relieved, overwhelmed, nostalgic, embarrassed. This will help you better articulate and understand your feelings as well as others. I'm going to put this over here. Next is observe body language. A lot is actually revealed with how you're feeling externally more than you think. So, physical sensations, this is just like in yourself. Maybe you could tell these things in another person, but physical sensations like tightness in your chest, stomach butterflies, or increased heart rate is signal from an emotional source. So, pay attention to that within yourself as well as others if you can. Do a body scan. Actually, try this. Try doing a body scan at the end of the day. See how you're feeling physically. Then maybe you can get some understanding out of that. I don't know. Talk about your emotions, okay? Yes. Share your feelings with someone close who will listen. Express yourself emotionally without shame. You don't have all you don't have to have all the answers, okay? Sometimes just saying what you're feeling brings clarity. Talking to someone about it. If you're unsure how to begin, you can try I feel statements like I feel. Okay. Next is develop empathy. That's what we're trying to do here. How? Do active listening with others, truly without interrupting or judging. Try to understand what another person is feeling. This actually does help you deepen your understanding of emotions. Next is you want to find ways to practice emotional regulation. How? Manage your emotions constructively, okay? If you're extremely angry, go by yourself and go work out, okay? If um if you're like overwhelmed, step away and clear your mind. Practice breathing techniques. Actually practice them. You can practice talking it out with somebody. That works for some people. And avoid bottling it up at all cost, because this will actually ruin your ability to be emotionally involved with what other people are feeling. If you're bottling up your own emotions, you're going to not feel as well as what other people are feeling. Does that make sense? Next is acknowledge your triggers. Listen up now. Identify your triggers and anticipate those responses with awareness and control. So, foresee how your triggers are going to affect you. Certain emotional triggers. It can be like a person, it could be a situation. Accept and honor your emotions. Why? How? Avoid dismissing, or judging yourself for feeling a certain way, okay? Like, emotions are natural and valid, even uncomfortable ones. Allow yourself to feel them fully. Emotions don't always have to be fixed. Sometimes you just need to identify them and sit there with the emotion for a little bit and let it go. It will come and it will pass. Next, we have actually creative expression. So, actually, art, like music, or any form of creative expression can actually help you connect with your emotional landscape in a nonverbal way. And sometimes words can't express. So, creative outlets can reveal what you're feeling. Even painting or writing poetry could unlock a deeper emotional understanding. Now, next, I want you to observe your relationships. Pay attention to how your interactions with others make you feel. There are recurring emotional themes in your relationships, so pay attention to that. Like, do you feel seen? Do you feel heard? Pay attention to how others respond to your emotional expression. This will provide feedback on how well you're communicating your feelings and how well you know your feelings. All right, this is good. These are all the things on how to become more emotionally in touch. This will help you be more emotionally in touch with yourself, and it'll help you be more emotionally in touch with others. I don't like this idea going around about stoicism because it gives you a harder time to, if someone is in an emotionally rough spot, you can't be there with them. If you're a stoic, you can't be there with them and be sad with them in that situation. So you don't have to be a stone cold caveman. You'll actually gain people's respect and trust more if you practice empathy. Okay. Next, we got consequences of lying. Suddenly, you have more to keep track of. This will give you a bigger cognitive load. And a lie is when you know what you're saying isn't true. That's what a lie is. And typically, lying is actually done for instant gratification. Another consequence is that you have to keep lying to cover yourself up. And dishonesty delays connection. It delays growth of it, it delays development of relationships. So it delays relational development. And it delays the development of other things too. It delays the development of progress in general. Perhaps you're working together with someone to accomplish something, and now you're spreading confusion. So the growth in the teamwork can't happen as well. Everyone will be confused. And that corruption causes chaos. Get on the cognitive load. When you're lying to others, in a way you're lying to yourself because now you have to fakely convince yourself in your head that what you're saying was true to say it out loud. Now you have to keep track of the thing that you said and create a fake story that you now always have to apply consistent effort to remember the lie and keep it consistent with everything that you've said. So, what should you do? A way to gain trust. Own up to your mistakes. If there's anything that will help you to gain trust with someone the most is actually owning up to your own mistakes. Acknowledge them and take responsibility for your actions. This shows that you know what you're doing was wrong, and by publicly announcing that, it puts accountability on yourself to not make the same mistake in the future. So you're doing that out loud and not just keeping it in. You're sharing with people. And you should make more promises. Actually, the next one, yeah. Make more promises with someone. And always, always, always keep those promises. Make more promises that you will keep. This is actually very important. Try to do this as often as possible. Make more promises. I can't stress that enough. Because these commitments show that you will follow through with what you say and what you will do, even when it's difficult. It will show your counterpart that you have a skill of consistency. And that's actually all I have today on trust. Thank you for watching this video. Again, uh, the Discord server will be in the link in the description. I hope to maybe even get another video out today if I can. And I'm sorry this one took so long. Last time I said again that I probably won't be consistent, and I was right. So I don't know. Hopefully I can start being consistent. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.